A production line is a process of one operation after the other that puts together parts to make a finished product. The finished product then rolls out at the end of the line, and in most cases is ready for consumption. This tangible product is proof that the production line works. It is proof that this production line does work. So today we seek to define the difference between being productive and being busy. We are borrowing from the production line that we can easily put out then, that one has to have something tangible as proof of the process of productivity. I'm going to run that by you one more time. A production line is a process of one operation after another that puts together parts to make a finished product. The finished product rolls out at the end of the line, and in most cases is ready for consumption. The tangible product is proof that the production line does work. So today, we seek to define the difference between being productive and being busy. Borrowing from that production line, we can easily put out that one has to have something tangible as proof of the process of productivity. And I'm just going to check, because we are live now, and see who has joined me in this session. Just going to check. Yes, and I can see we've already been joined. Thank you and welcome. So then what is your take? Because we are seeking to define the difference between being productive and being busy, especially during this lockdown period. We are in our second lockdown here in Nairobi, where we are beaming our broadcast from. And I really want to borrow this analogy from the production line so that we can look at this difference between productivity and being busy. So what then will busy be? If productivity then suggests that it is the tangible proof that this production line is working, what then is busy? I really would love your take. Share with me in the chat and let us help build one another. Welcome to Tuesday Talks at 3. This is a platform for women to help build one another in our daily journey as we go through this sphere of life. My name is Lucy Makridis, and I'm the founder of LMC Consultancy and an expert in helping women get unstuck and onto their true potential through unlocking their limiting beliefs. I am a clarity coach, a mentor, and an online facilitator. And I want to thank you so much for joining me on this broadcast, where today you are going to be helping me to understand the difference between productivity and busy, just being busy. We are on our second lockdown, and we have a second chance to make something out of our lives. Even the last lockdown, we found ourselves paralyzed. We have no excuse now because we came out of it. We got our chance to do business. We saw what it is that we could have perhaps bettered ourselves in during that first lockdown. And now here's our chance. So this is me just pushing you a little forward, nudging you forward towards your potential, letting you have an insight of what it is that you have within you. And I started off by just this analogy of the production line, that it is a process of one operation after another that puts together parts to make a finished product. And that finished product is the one that ends up being the tangible proof that this production line does work. And I'm repeating this analogy because it is what is forming the basis of my take today. Well, it is school holidays, and we have a lady in waiting program for you as part of our catalog of LMC services. This program will be running from the 6th to the 11th of April. There will be 6 days, 12 hours, and 6 workbooks. You want to gift a young lady this lady in waiting program. And why do you want to do this? There's a lot of identity crisis going on, not only in Africa, but in the whole world today, where individuals do not know who they are. And when asked who they are, They find it hard to come up with who they are. And therefore, when we take these ladies, these young girls between the ages of 12 to 18, through the Lady in Waiting, one of the things that we cover is your core values. So that these young people are able to transition gracefully into society. We cover who you are, who people think you are, and who you aspire to be like. What is important from where you're coming from, whether you're coming from a setting of a family setting, whether you're coming from a setting of guardian setting, or you're coming from a home where there are other children living with you under the care of one adult. And therefore, whoever you are at that point in life, it is so important for you to put a name to it, to identify it. Because our discussions with these young women go as far as, who are you and who does the world know you as? Who is going to inform this narrative if not yourself? So definitely core values is something that we take these girls through, and we have a ball because it is so interesting to hear their take. The other thing that we take them through is social media etiquette. Yes, we show them the fun side of social media etiquette, but we are also very conversant with the pros and the cons. Therefore, we tell them the dangers of social media and the things that they should and should not do. And listening to them on their take on what they should post, whoa, you really know that this Lady in Waiting could not have come at a better time. So they're at home right now, and we can give them 6 sessions, that is 12 hours and 6 workbooks that they can be going through just to be able to gracefully transition into society. We bring in things like social etiquette, business etiquette, dining etiquette, deportment. You've heard that saying, my dress, my choice. That's a unit that we cover. So school holidays and Lady in Waiting, our programs are here on our Facebook page. Please feel free to have a look. The costs are there. The catalog is available. Direct message us, and we are ready to go from the 6th to the 11th of April. And I am so happy to receive messages from you, and I would be able to give you some clarity. We then have our group life coaching, which right now we are running the March cohort, and it's coming to an end of this week. We then start the April cohort in the week of the 12th of April, and that runs through to the end, which is the 29th of April. If this is you, if you have a group of 4 friends and plus you making 5, that you would like to come on this journey with me and allow me to be your clarity coach, then you want to also direct message me here on our Facebook page so that I can get back to you and block the date. You want to hurry up and do this before the other group takes over the space, because I only take 1 group a month. And then Awakening Self. Awakening Self is my signature program. I have written a book, and right now this book is going through the phase of the cover and the back cover and the content. I have co-authored this book with 12 other authors, and it is great stuff. So this Awakening Self program is a sneak peek as to what goes on in this book. It is the lessons that I have learned over the years. And when you attend this Awakening Self, which incidentally is from the 12th to the 16th of April, and we run it over the lunch hour, Nairobi time, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. So that's 5 days. We run it over that lunch hour. This program will allow you to identify your goals and set up these goals. It'll also introduce you to those things that are holding you back from achieving goals. And you'll be getting the answers to, but I've always had a goal and it's never taken off. Why would this be different? It's because we're introducing you now and giving you tools that are going to help you identify those things that are holding you back, those limiting beliefs. And we have an intimate conversation with self on what is holding you back. We also look at your purpose. We look at your voice, and we look at you embracing your potential. So 5 tools in 5 days on the Awakening Self is definitely something that you want to be part of. So I am a clarity coach, and you may ask, what makes me an expert? Well, 30 years plus in the hospitality industry, where women grew me and I grew women in my career. But then came COVID, and COVID was a disruptor for everybody. And for the hospitality industry, we got hit hard, and we found ourselves on our knees. And you can imagine what the second lockdown is doing for us. However, During this first lockdown, I realized that I had to reinvent myself, to rethink, just to revisit what it was that I am about. And I'm happy to report that my purpose remained the same, and that was to help build one another. Hence, I'm here helping to build one another and also inviting you as guests to come in and help build everybody else, because we all have a story to tell. And your story, somebody is waiting to hear. Don't keep that story to yourself. But I digress. So I found that my purpose remained the same. However, I had to change my journey. My journey had been through the hospitality path, but that was not working because there was no business at that time. And therefore, I had to look at a new route. And this gave birth to Awakening Self. And Awakening Self then gave birth to this book that I am referring to, that should be out in 60 days, give or take, and it would be my pleasure to tell you all about it and have a reading. But again, that is in the near future. For now, I found my voice. I am owning my voice, and I'm on the journey of embracing my voice. And I invite you to be part of this journey. We have a great community that is called We Are Connected on Facebook. So just join my Facebook, like, for the chance to join this group. And you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is LMC Consultancy, the same name as my Facebook page, and benefit from guests who've been on this Tuesday Talks at 3 and have shared their stories. And maybe there you can drop me a message and just say that perhaps that you want to come on and share your story. Please share with us because it is so important. So the Tech and Life month has been this March, the Tech and Life month. It really opened up my mind to the amazing technology opportunities. And we had great speakers. But let us see who you are out there and what stories you would like to share with us about Tech and Life. And I'm seeing here and I'm thinking, oh, hello, Nduku. Great, you actually made it. Both Ndukus are here. Thank you for coming on. Pauline, great to see you. Wow, Pauline is here. We've got Kavi, welcome. We've got Nancy, good to see you. Jane Kuvuna. Jane Kuvuna, you made it, and we give thanks to God. So we're back to our Tech and Life, and just a recap of our speakers. This month we had 4 profound speakers, and they were all talking about technology. These were women who were telling their story. These were women who came onto this screen to share their successes, to share their journey to this success, and encouraging us to also walk this path as they have. Joan Bessia was our first speaker, and she is from Tech Mindset Africa. She brought on artificial intelligence. Can you imagine that? This woman was talking about artificial intelligence. And I remember saying to her, artificial intelligence, for me, I think of RoboCop. RoboCop during my time was that movie that you wanted to watch, this robotic policeman. And it was amazing that now I know it is artificial intelligence. And Joan's takeaways were very profound. She said we need to be aware of artificial intelligence around us. We've got artificial intelligence all around us. We need to be aware of it. And why do we need to be aware of it? So that we can get empowered and use this as an opportunity to improve our lives. And when I talk about improving our lives, it could be right in your house with your shopping list where you apply artificial intelligence or machine learning, or it could easily be in your business, which could be your hustle or your formalized business, how you can bring in efficiency into your business. Because with artificial intelligence, it really narrows down the error. And therefore, you want to be able to embrace artificial intelligence. I loved it when Joan said that we need to impact the future generation. So there's a succession. And she went ahead and told us that our children, the youth, always have these gadgets in their hands. Why don't we use that opportunity to introduce them to AI? Why don't we be able to give them an opportunity at home to think beyond the games that they're playing as just games, but opportunities to have a culture of artificial intelligence where their minds are just rife with ideas. I mean, their science fairs will never be the same. So yes, she encouraged us to embrace artificial intelligence and machine learning. Then came Jackie Mwangi, the digital marketing guru. And with Jackie, it was all about leveraging digital marketing for our growing businesses. In other words, what is it that you want to do and how are you going to reach your customer out there? Who is your customer and where is it that they frequent? On what digital marketing platforms do they frequent? You need to be there. And she encouraged us. She encouraged us to keep on practicing whatever it is we learn. So I'm speaking to you. You are here today listening to me. Are you taking notes? Or is this just a pleasurable session for you? I encourage you to use any opportunity during this lockdown as an opportunity to take self to the next level. Jackie Mwangi said to us, we need to practice and put to use the knowledge that we are learning. This is knowledge that I'm imparting here to you today. It already happened a few weeks ago, and now I'm reminding you. Write it down, ladies. Make it count for you. She encouraged us to double down on what we are good at. Double down on what we are good at. We have these gifts and these talents that are God-given. And God did not give them to us for us to just sit on them. We are to use them for his good and for his glory. So what do we need to do? Help the next person, help build one another, provide solutions. So we loved Jackie for the fact that she was able to share with us this platform where we could actually grow our businesses. Then came Charity Githinji of Tandaza, Africa. And Charity came in showing us the opportunity of revenue streams. You heard me right. Revenue streams to enhance our income. We are sitting at home, whether we are waiting in between shifts to go back to work, whether we've been laid off, whether we have been told that basically you have to wait 2 weeks before you go back to work, or there are no jobs out there. We have the opportunity right here. There's a silver lining. It is your opportunity to go onto Google and look at all these digital opportunities that you can make use of. So what hustle are you in? Whatever that hustle is, go onto the digital marketing platform and see what there is. And one of them could be enhancing your income through different revenue streams. Charity talked about Forex trading. Maybe that's what you want to be doing. There are so many opportunities out there. There's Bitcoin. I'm not so savvy with that world, but it's something that I have gone around and looked at and played around with the idea. And already I am planting the seed. Why don't you plant the seed also when it comes to enhancing your income through different revenue streams? Then we had Angela Njay here. She was our last speaker last week, our guest speaker, and she talked about resilience for women traders. And she talked about sustainability, she talked about innovation, she talked about digitalization. Again, this responsibility starts with us, not with anybody else. It is my journey. I cannot wait for somebody else to start, then I start. At the end of the day, I'm the one who is stuck with my bottom line and not somebody else. So there's resilience through sustainability, innovation, and digitalization. And it's not only about going green. It is actually about ensuring that your businesses are able to operate in these dire times. Looking at your business in a different way, different ways that we can skin a cat. The solutions are all in the alternatives. You just need to make a choice. So back to productivity versus being busy. And today we seek to define the difference between being productive and being busy. And we did borrow the analogy from the production line. And therefore, if productivity is holding something in your hand, something that is tangible, I am asking you, what are you going to come out with at the end of this lockdown as something tangible that you can say to self, proud, I did this during this lockdown period. I started this during this lockdown period. I motivated, I inspired, I planted a seed during this lockdown period so that it can continue. Please share with me in the chat. And I am looking at the comments we have so far. We've got Sheila Nduku saying in 2021, digital marketing is the more effective way to conduct business and communicate. Yes, let's get on board. Thank you very much, Sheila. It is so true. Digital marketing is where you're going to get in contact with your customer. I mean, I'm holding my phone in my hand. I am actually on Zoom right now. So anybody who is targeting me as a customer has got to be on these platforms. And to be able to do this, they need to get digital marketing down pat. So Sheila, I agree with you. Definitely share with us and let us help build one another. What is your take? I'm talking about productivity. Tell me what, in your words, you think busy is. I would like to just take a bit more time on productivity and jump straight into the business model for profit. We go into business for profit. We all do. There's no one who goes into business for the sake of. There's always money to be made at the end of the day. So for today's session, I have looked at 3 aspects, and I want to look at tech and life when we're looking at these aspects, using technology in our lives, in our business models for profit. So the first one that I use a comparison for is a business person. So a business person could be you who has a side hustle. What is your side hustle? And we're going to use these as examples. So your side hustle could be, let's take an example of, let's see, during the first lockdown, suddenly there was a very high usage of lemons and ginger, and we were making this concoction of hot lemon ginger just to keep us hydrated, to keep our antibodies, to make sure that we are healthy, to ensure that we cannot get sick, to clear our nasal cavities. Whatever it did for you, it was just a pleasurable drink. But there was somebody who was doing business with these lemons and these pieces of ginger or lemon, whatever it was, or I beg your pardon, garlic that you were putting in your drink. So business person would go to the farm and get the lemons, get the ginger, and get the garlic, and come and sell. So whether they were just buying from the farmer and selling wholesale or retail, that's a business person. You buy, and then you come and you sell for a profit. So the next model I'm looking at is the entrepreneur. So the entrepreneur will still go and buy the lemon, would buy the ginger, would buy the garlic, but now would apply the innovation and know what the customer needs and create this drink called dawa. Maybe bottle it, sell it to the shops, sell it to the supermarkets, do door-to-door selling, or even use these ingredients for something else. But whatever it is they sell at the end of the day is not going to be a lemon, ginger, or garlic. It's going to be a package. And therefore, this business model is an entrepreneur. So we've looked at the business person, we've looked at the entrepreneur. Now I introduce to you the infopreneur. The infopreneur, as you hear the word, is about information. It is about collecting, organizing, and selling this information as a product, as a service. And once you sell it, you're selling it through technology. So for instance, what I'm doing right now, I am an infopreneur. This is my new lifestyle. So as I prepare my sessions, which is Tuesday Talks at 3, what do? I take information from my book, Awakening Self. I go onto Google, I research, and then there's that information that I already know to be a fact. There's my experiences. I have spoken to people and they've given me insights. I've attended classes. I've paid for lessons, capacity building. So that is me collecting this information. So I collect this information from everywhere. And then I organize it. I organize it on a PowerPoint. I organize it on a note of paper, piece of paper. I organize it when I am now preparing what I want to say, how I want to say it, what topics I want to cover. Then I sell it. So for instance, I talked to you about my Awakening Self program that runs from the 12th to the 16th of April. I am selling that to you. I am an infopreneur. Now, if I take an example from the hospitality industry right now, the lockdown is real, guys. For those of us who are here in Nairobi, the lockdown is real. We had tours that were packaged to go out of Nairobi because people want to go out of Nairobi to take a breather before coming back in. But the lockdown has stopped all that. But that does not mean that we can't do the same thing in Nairobi. So if you are a travel agent out there, I am sure you've already figured this out. You can put together your packages. So whether you're putting your vehicle, your accommodation, or you're putting your tour, whatever it is, you're getting information together, you're collecting it. Then you're organizing it and you're selling it. It doesn't have to be a tangible product. It could be something on the virtual world so that people can experience something new. Because if there's one thing that we realized in hospitality industry is that we realized our error in doing the same thing year in, year out. COVID has taught us that we need to look at different ways to do things. Like I said in the beginning, I needed to figure out a different journey, a different route to get to my purpose, which is to help build one another. A lot of awakening moments right now. So I'm just hoping that you can share with us. Hello, Joyce. Good to see you there. There's Joyce Suji and there's Joyce Modoni. Great to see you guys. Karibuni sana. And here today, it is about my take on productivity and busy. And the reason that I am bringing this business model for profit to you, to your awareness, is because we all have a dream. We all have a side hustle. We all have a formal business. And even with a formal business, we want to take it to another level. So where do we start? So let's just begin to understand what is required of us. So productivity for me is about being focused. What do you think productivity is? Just as you're telling me what you think being busy is, and nobody has told me anything yet. So I'm beginning to wonder, ladies, do we not know what busy is? Or are you scared that your definition of busy may not be the correct one? Please share with us so that we can help build one another. Productivity for me is about being focused. So I want you for a moment just to close your eyes. Close your eyes and just go to that dream of yours that you have had, the wish that you have had for the longest time. That wish and that dream that is up there on the shelf, and for whatever reason is staying there because something is not ready. All the ducks are not in a row. You're not in the proper state of mind or the finances. Whatever it is you tell yourself that makes you sleep at night, the dream is on the shelf. I want you to go to that dream right now, that wish. Close your eyes. And now you are in the dream realm. Walk around your dream. What is your dream about? How do you see this dream coming into fruition? Who is there with you? How does it make you feel? What can stop you realizing this dream? I want you to feel all this as you're walking around your dream. And as you're feeling this, I want you to just consider Ikigai. Ikigai is a Japanese concept. It is the reason for being. It is a purpose. It is you waking up every morning, jumping out of bed for a reason. What reason is that? This reason I put to you is, the reason is passion, something that you love, something that you're good at, something that you can get paid for, something the world needs. Now, as you think about that dream of yours, does it have those parameters? Is it part of something that you love? Part of something that you're good at? Is it something that the world needs or that you can get paid for? You see, things happen in two places, ladies. They happen in our mind and they happen down on the ground in reality. As we say here in Kenya and Nairobi, things on the ground, that is the reality. So in your mind, you have seen your dream. I want you to move it now into reality. And what you're going to do on a piece of paper is write it down. And as you write down this dream, ladies, I want you to apply SMART, the acronym SMART. I want that dream to be specific into a goal, measurable into a goal, because that gets measured gets done. It is not something you're generalizing. I want it to be achievable, realistic, and time-bound. And I'm sure you've heard of this so many times, but I want you to use it today on your dream. Therefore, this dream becomes a goal. And tick, you have done the first thing towards productivity. You now have a goal. The second thing I need you to do is make a plan, and not necessarily now, but start to think about the activities that you can put around this goal to make it a reality. The activities, what are they? What do you need to start doing from today? And it's lovely when you do the 21 days, because then you start to have a habit. It becomes second nature. You want to do that. Write down the activities. Then schedule the time. What are the timelines? In productivity or any business, you must have timelines. So when are you going to do what? How long are you going to do it for? Whatever it is that is related to time, it needs to be put down. So schedule a timeline. So will you be done by a certain number of days, months? How long are you going to take on one specific activity? And if I go back to the production line, how long will it take you from one activity to another, to another, to another, until you have an end product? As you churn it out, then you have something tangible. And then you have to be accountable. It's no use putting out all these lovely things, and then you cannot be accountable. Because you need to ask yourself, now that it has happened, what do I have to show for it? That's your accountability. That's your accountability. And for it to be accountable, that means your goal has to be compelling enough. Whatever you put down as your goal, guys, this is your journey, your business. You cannot compare it to anybody else. You need to work it out. And when I say it is your journey and your business, you better not be living somebody else's dream. Do not be a witness. Do not be a victim. That was the first lockdown. That happened, but this time around, you cannot allow it to happen. This is your opportunity to better yourself. And that's why today we're talking about how to be productive. And I really would love for you to share with me your thoughts. And I see it is only Sheila who has shared up to this point. Just take a moment, own this, and ensure that you do know that it is your game plan that you're living. So whose plan are you working on? Or whose plan have you been working on? What is the answer to that question? The answer to that question will tell you what you need to start doing today, what you need to stop doing today, or what you need to continue doing today. And I pointed to you that this is where busy comes in. You are busy with somebody else's plan or dream. And in your factory, you're doing this for somebody else. So guess what? You're churning out nothing for self at the end of the day, but you're churning out something for somebody else. And good for you. You are helping your sister. But what about you? You're no use to your sister if you're not strong and firm in your belief. I would rather that you come to help me coming from a point of information, a point of knowledge, a point of experience, because then you're coming in, you're helping to lift me, to adjust my crown, and to make me a better person than I am. I would rather that kind of help. Because when I'm walking on this journey of mine, I am failing and failing and failing. And I need you to be there to hold my hand and say, use that failure, Lucy, to transcend to the next level. We cannot become victims together. We need to help one another. So I say yes to your plan and say no to other people's plans. You've got to know the difference here. And using this lockdown as an opportunity, I want you to dust off that dream from the shelf and make your plan. But it's not possible, ladies, if you're not in the right mindset. And for those of you who've been on my session time and time again, you are aware about the two mindsets that I talk about. It's either your fixed and scarcity mindset, or it is a growth and abundance mindset. Which one are you? It's so important that you understand where you're at. And just to help you understand, for those who are new to my show, let me just walk you through what a fixed mindset is and see whether you resonate with this. This is a fixed mindset. It is a scarcity mindset. And I'll just read this for you. If I could just read it off my paper, and I should have had this paper ready with me. So let me just read it off for you. Here we go. So a fixed mindset. I am only good at certain things. That's what a fixed mindset thinks. I'm only good at certain things. I give up when it gets too hard. I hate challenges. I take feedback and criticism personally. I don't like doing what I don't know. Don't believe everything that you think. Don't believe everything that you think, because this then, once you begin to understand that you should not believe everything that you think, you begin to embrace a growth mindset. So let me just take the fixed mindset and I just mirror it to the growth mindset. So a fixed mindset says, I'm only good at certain things. A growth mindset says, I can be good at anything. Look at that. Look at how those words have just been interchanged, the narrative. And this comes very true for productivity. So are you sitting there and watching other people doing stuff and saying, and just being able to justify it and say, well, they're good at that? Or are you sitting there and watching people do things and thinking, well, I can be good at anything. It doesn't have to be that, but I can be good at anything, I beg your pardon. The next one is I give up when it gets too hard. A growth mindset says, I try until I get the results that I want. How powerful is that? That is a growth mindset, an abundance mindset. A fixed mindset says, I hate challenges, whereas a growth abundant mindset says, I embrace challenges. Sounds scary. When you embrace challenges, even in your business, you take on risks. And I encourage you to please formalize your side hustle. Because when you formalize your side hustle, you embrace the challenges that comes with that. So many things come with embracing your challenges by way of formalizing your business. I mean, there are certain levies that you have to pay, which most probably you don't have the money right now. But those are the business risks that you take. Now that you've told everybody you formalize your business, people have high expectations of you, but that is you embracing challenges and being able to see how far you can go with it into your potential. I take feedback and criticism personally. I mean, all this you can find on Google. Just go in and Google fixed mindset versus growth mindset, or abundance mindset versus scarcity. A growth mindset says, I welcome feedback and criticism. I welcome feedback and criticism. A fixed mindset says, I don't like doing what I don't know. And a growth mindset says, I like learning about things I don't know. So here's your lockdown now. What are you going to do with your lockdown period? Are you going to sit back and be a witness, a victim, or will you be a creator? It is my hope that you are going to use these digital platforms, that you're going to use technology to improve your life in tech and life. Because this month, this is all we have been talking about. And I can see we've been joined by Kaine. Karibu sana Kaine. And we're talking about productivity and busy, and I'm encouraging everybody to share their thoughts, what they think busy is. So far, we've defined productivity as my take. What is your take on productivity? What is your take on being busy? Any success stories that you have that you can share with us, and let us help build one another. So which one are you? Are you a fixed mindset or are you a growth mindset? It takes a bit of decision making for you to decide where you're going. And that is a process on its own. The decision-making process is never an easy one. But I will try my best to take you through a few steps that may help you to realize this. Yeah. Kaine, I see you there. And I'm just hoping that you will be able to share with us something about productivity and busyness. And not running a business, but being busy. So in your decision process, I already alluded to this a few minutes back, where I talked about what are you going to stop doing? What are you going to start doing? And what are you going to continue doing? I recommend that you stop being busy and unproductive. Stop being busy and unproductive. And busy in this case, realizing other people's dreams and leaving your dream collecting dust on the shelf. No matter how small you think your dream is, it is yours. And your dream is allowed to snowball. Who tells you your dream is going to remain that size? You could be the next best thing that we are waiting for. And you're holding it from us. You're denying us that opportunity. So grab your dream. Stop being busy with other people's dreams and being unproductive with yourself. And let us be focused and intentional. I want you to start making a plan and working that plan. And I want you to continue learning. This culture is amazing. I want you to practice and being consistent with the knowledge. Be consistent with knowledge. Whatever you're learning now, apply it, write it down, make it work. So I've got the intentional decision, and I've got simple shifts, and I've got the decision from within. The intentional decision This is a process that needs a good dose of due diligence. And in this due diligence, if I just grab here, if I can just read it here. Decision making is a process that it needs due diligence. You need to gather information and consider alternatives. So while you are considering alternatives, that is where the answers are. The answers are in the alternatives. I did say to you that I am from the hospitality industry, and we were doing the same things the same way over and over again. And COVID came and woke us up. And now we are applying innovation. And I'm telling you that when this COVID pandemic is over, the hospitality industry will never be the same because of the innovation that it will have learned and applied. So we need to consider alternatives when we're looking at decision making. And there will always be consequences for every decision that we make. Don't ever think that you make a decision, everything goes rosy. Yeah, there are successes and abundance from decisions making. There's also costs and loss. Costs and loss. So that is your intentional decision making. You need to gather information and consider the alternatives. And this is your due diligence. And be knowing that there is a risk factor to it. The simple shifts, and I love this. I love the simple, oh, I can see there's been some comments. Jacinta, good to see you, Jacinta. So stop being busy with other people's dreams. So true. Sheila says, start being focused and intentional. Never a truer advice given. Thank you so much, ladies. I really would love to hear more from you. So here is simple shifts. And this intentional decision can be made in very simple shifts. And the one that I love is waking up early, just to be able to make a simple shift towards time management. Are you a procrastinator? Are you finding it so hard to get things done? Maybe you need to wake up early and start planning early in the day when you don't have any distractions. Put it down on a piece of paper and start working on your time management. Maybe that's what it does for you, because excuses, on the other hand, will not yield that time management. So do something about it. Start showing up and being present for yourself. Start listening and being empathetic. There are certain things that you can do, simple shifts that are going to help you to make intentional decisions. Simple shifts. So pick a simple shift today and start doing it every day. What is it going to be for you? Will it be that perhaps it is your narrative? Maybe you beat yourself up too much. You don't enjoy the journey. So perhaps what you need to be doing is affirming self, being kind to self. So every morning you wake up, and as you're facing yourself in the mirror, what you do is say some affirmations. Give yourself a pat on the back. Be kind to self, because if you're not kind to yourself, nobody will be. People treat you the way you treat yourself. So that's a simple shift that you could start on. And this will go a long way in helping you to be productive during this lockdown, because now you're in between shifts. So like I said, you've been laid off, or you are now starting your own hustle from home. You need to be productive. Let's come out of this lockdown, ladies, holding something in our hand that we can be accountable for. Let's not be like the first lockdown. Let's not be witnesses. Let us be the creators of our own destiny, of reaching our potential. So these decisions from within, I love what Robin Sharma said. I love Robin Sharma. I love to read his books. He said, success on the outside means nothing unless you have success within. Success on the outside means nothing unless you have success within. And the success within is your mindset. What kind of mindset do you have? Is it a winning mindset? And this will apply in everything that you do, not only in productivity, but it will help you, ladies. It will. My mindset has helped me to write a book. Who would have thought? If somebody had told me 2 years ago, Lucy, you are going to write a book in 2021, I would have told you whatever it is that you're smoking is dangerous stuff. You need to stop. But today, I have co-authored a book, and my topic is Awakening Self. And the book is about wealth footprints. And it is going to be published in 2 months' time. Right now, we are working on the top cover. I have shared on my platforms. We are working on the back cover, and we're just finalizing, fine-tuning the content. But already, I am providing you with a learning opportunity with the Awakening Self program that I have been running in this first quarter. Who would have imagined? So my success came from within my mindset that I can do it. Before, I would never have thought that I could do it. So impossibility is just a mindset. And I remember that it was Angela who said that to us when she was covering sustainability and resilience for women traders. So imagine a scenario where you have made a decision and you are on this journey of your life and you're going on with this decision. You've put down the plan, you have your activities, you're executing, and then you hit your first hurdle, your first bump. You fall into the first valley or you're faced with the first mountain. You know, you took the first step. Already you're successful, but now you've hit your first hurdle. Many things can happen at this point, but the decision is yours. That is why it's important that that goal that became the foundation for you to set out on this plan is a compelling goal. And I'm able to take you through this and give you tools to do this on the Awakening Self, on the group life coaching sessions that I offer. What you need to do is have a compelling vision, a compelling why, a compelling purpose. Because when you get to that hurdle, you will then remind yourself why you're there. And you realize, and I want you to write this down, you realize then that your vision is bigger than your reality. Your vision, which is that goal, that dream that you brought down and made it into a goal, is bigger than your current reality. And your current reality is that hurdle, is that bump, is that hole that you fell into, is that valley, is that mountain that you are facing. Ladies, your why has to be compelling enough. Because if it is not, this is the time when people quit. And I do not believe in quitting. Failure is always an option, and the failure helps you to get from one point to another. When you quit, you've gone so far, ladies. You quit. Chances are when you start again, and when you come to this point, so much has happened and you've lost out on so many opportunities. Why did you quit? Allow yourself to fail, learn from the failure, and take off again. So I like what Sheila is saying here. Intentional, deliberate. Very true. You must have intentional decisions. They must be deliberate. So the cost of success, of abundance, is in you knowing how to say no so that you can learn how to say yes. You have to say no so that you can learn how to say yes. What are you saying yes to? You're saying yes to your plan, because at the end of the day, we want to see what is being churned out. Remember the factory analogy, that production line? At the end of the day, we want to see the product rolling off. It is ready for consumption. But how will it be ready for consumption if you do not even have a plan of moving one part into another to create a finished product so that you can see your success? Until you see your success, nobody else is going to see it. It's what you are telling the world, which is so important. So once you've made a decision on what you need to do, then the behavior is seen in that action. Your behavior is seen in your actions. Whatever it is that you do, it is presented in behavior. This is the external presentation. At times you wonder, you look at people and you say that person is successful. Ask yourself, how do you know that for a fact? You don't. But their behavior is a behavior of success. They most probably are winging it. They're not successful, but what have they done? They have given out a sort of a behavior that makes you believe that they're successful, and therefore it attracts you and they have opportunities. So your behavior comes from within, and it is what you need to do. So as we bring this to an end, because I can see we're coming to the end of our hour, productivity versus being busy. Today, we were seeking to define the difference between being productive and being busy. And we borrowed from that production line where we needed to have a tangible product as proof of the process of productivity being successful. And the proof is where we have come up with just 4 things. Simple. I've just made them simple. Of course, it is deeper than this, but it's something for you to start thinking about during this lockdown. And one of the first things you need to do is grab that dream from that shelf, dust it, and make it your goal. Make a plan that has activities. Tie in some timelines, put down some timelines, you know. When am I going to do this by? How long am I going to do it for? How much time am I going to allocate to this? And then it's got to be accountable. I mean, after all this, what then do you have to show? Productivity. That's what you're going to show, that you were successful at the end of the day. I pray for you, ladies, that at the end of this lockdown period, if not as a result of what you have heard me say today, then the result of opportunities around you that you have grabbed in this Tech and Life month of March. Busy in this case then will be the production line running the whole day and nothing being churned out. So what have you done? You have spent money on power in a production factory. You have spent money on water. You have spent money on man hours. You're paying people a salary. You have spent money, and yet there's nothing coming out on the other end. And to funnel it down to our example that we use today, you're busy living somebody else's dreams. Let them live their dreams. You live your dreams. So take your dreams and make them into a plan, ladies. This is your opportunity. However small you think it is, start today. It will snowball. Trust yourself. Enjoy the journey. Thank you so much for joining me today on Tuesday Talks at 3.